Hey friends, Lauren here from Photography Concentrate, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the top mistakes that people make when shooting instant film so that you can avoid them. All right, the top mistake that I think that people do is just being afraid to waste film. Yes, instant film is expensive. It depends, but you're basically looking at around $1 per sheet. And that can feel like scary. You just want to conserve it. You want to make sure that you hold on to it. But that's not the point here. The point is to be shooting and enjoying the process. And so don't be afraid to make those mistakes. I have boxes and boxes of shots that are complete mistakes, like complete garbage, basically, like they should just be thrown in the trash. But that's how I learn how to use the camera, and that's just part of the fun. The unpredictability of instant film is what makes it so magical. So don't be afraid to waste your film, just get out and shoot. All right, next up is forgetting to adjust your settings. And even if you are using the simplest camera on the market or the fanciest camera on the market, there are settings that you need to be aware of. For example, a big one is not adjusting your exposure. So that's the brightness or the darkness of your shot. And even this really basic, this is the Mini 9 from Fujifilm. Even this camera has an exposure adjustment that you have to be aware of. It's going to tell you what you need to set it at so that you get the right exposure, but you need to be doing that work. These aren't just completely point and shoot cameras. You do need to use your brain, but that's okay. As long as you get in that habit, you are going to get better shots. Another big one is not setting your focus distance. So a lot of these cameras will also have different focusing distances, depending on whether something is close to you or far away. And if you don't change those focus settings while you're shooting, your shots aren't going to be sharp. So you need to be aware of what you're doing. Use that brain, like I said, and you're going to get better results. Which brings me to the next point, which is very important, is that you should read the manual. When I first got into photography, I hated reading manuals, never wanted to do it, just tossed them to the side and figured, I'll figure it out as I go. But with instant film, that is an especially good way to waste a lot of money because you're not figuring out how to use that camera and you're going to waste a lot of film in the process. So the manuals for these cameras, honestly, are so small and easy to read. I know because I've read like all of them by this point. So take those 10 minutes, read the manual, take a look at your camera, learn what everything is, and that's going to help you get your settings right and really get the most out of that camera so that you're getting the best results with your photos. Okay, moving right along, something that you would know when you read the manual is that there is a dark slide. This is what covers up the pack of film so that the light doesn't hit that first piece of film and ruin it. And this is inside of every pack of Instax film, and you have to eject it. You have to get rid of it before you're ready to start shooting. And this is a mistake that I still make. I get all ready to take my shot after putting in a nice fresh pack of film and then press that shutter and out comes this. And I didn't actually take a photo. I just got rid of this and then I have to do it all over again. There are some models that will automatically eject the dark slide after you've put in the new film, but other ones won't. So you got to know whether your camera does or not and make sure you remember to get rid of this before you start shooting. Another big mistake that people make, especially if they're easily influenced by pop songs, is shaking that Polaroid picture. But this is not a Polaroid picture. This is an Instax film and you should not shake it. I have tested this. You can watch the videos. I'll link to them. Don't shake it. Don't bend it. Take care of this film right after you've taken a photo. Don't put it in your pocket. That also could ruin it. Take really good care of it because it's the only shot you have. The next mistake is what you do after you've got that precious little photo. Don't just throw it in a big pile like I have here because you know what this is going to do? This is going to scratch that film. This stuff scratches easily. All of these photos now have tons of little scratches on them. The best thing to do is to get yourself an album so that as soon as you take those shots, they are nice and safe in here. And I will add links in the description to these albums in particular because these are great for Instax Mini film. You can also get links in the description to the cameras and the film and all that stuff if you're looking for more of this stuff. But The idea here is that after you take your photos, take care of them, put them in the album or at least in a nice box to keep them safe. You may want to organize them by like event, year, trip, whatever. You can even write on them to give even more details, but just take care of them. You're spending time and money on them. You want to protect them. Okay, another big mistake is just simply getting too close to your subject. Every camera has what's known as a minimum focusing distance. That is the closest that you'll be able to get while still getting a sharp image. And a lot of times we just get so excited about what we're shooting, we just come right up to it like this, and you're just gonna get a really, really blurry result. In your manual, you will be able to find what the minimum focusing distance is for your camera, and then just get in the habit of never getting closer than that. A lot of them are like 0.6 meters, so 60 centimeters away. You can't get super close with these cameras, so make sure you're understanding that so you get sharp photos when you're closer up. So that mistake was getting too close, but it's also a mistake to not get close enough. This film is small. You're not going to be able to look really, really close. If your subject is super, super tiny in the frame, it's going to be hard to see them. You're going to want to try to do more photos where you're really filling up the frame with your subject, getting as close as you can so you can really see them, see those details. Remember, like I said, this is small film. These aren't big prints, so you kind of have to shoot in a different way. So another really important reason to know that minimum focusing distance so you can really fill up the frame with your subject. Now, instant film definitely has limitations and you kind of have to understand those. And the big one is that it doesn't handle super bright light very well. So here is what happens when you shoot right into the sun. You get like this black dot. That will also happen if there's like a reflection of a flash in a mirror or something. Anything that is like super, super, super bright, it's going to be this kind of ugly black dot. And I don't love that. I would rather it just be all white like this. So you kind of want to try to avoid that by not shooting directly into super bright light. Like turn to the side, try to not get the sun in your frame, and you'll avoid that ugly dot. One mistake I think people make with instant film is they kind of write it off as just snapshots, just a little frivolous, fun thing that you do, but I don't see it that way. I see instant film as having great potential for creativity and amazing photography, and I think that there's a lot that can be done there. And so what I think people fail to do is really study photography and apply photography concepts to their instant film work. And I think that's really missing out because there's amazing stuff you can do with instant film if you're using the ideas of composition, having cool shapes and lines and colors in there, or if you're looking for really great light to capture with your instant film shots. My personal favorite is shooting near a big window. There's amazing light there and instant film can absolutely take advantage of it. So if you love instant film, make sure you're also studying all those photography concepts and you will find an enormous improvement in the quality of the photos you're getting. I think in general, a big mistake that people make is they kind of come to instant film, especially if they've just started getting into it, approaching it like it's digital photography, right? So most of us shoot digital photography these days, if it's on a camera or our phone, and there are so many options that you have there. There's amazing dynamic range, which is how much light the camera can capture. You can crop your photo afterwards, you can edit it, you can add filters, you can brighten, darken, all sorts of stuff. Not so with instant film. You get one shot, and if you mess it up, that shot's messed up and you have to try again. You can't fix it afterwards. With instant film, you want to take your time to get it right the first time. You slow down. But that, I think, is the beauty of instant film, is that it really makes you slow down and consider every shot. You can't take 100 photos in one place. That would be a huge amount of film that you'd have to go through. Really, really work to slow yourself down, use your brain, think, what's the best way I can capture this scene on my instant film? And I think when you approach it differently in that way, you're really getting the full benefit of instant film. And then finally, one mistake I think people make, and I really hope that you especially will fix this one, is not giving the photos away. There are so many great things about instant film, but the one that always gives me the most joy is when I give those photos to someone else. I did an entire documentary just on that concept that I will link, and I hope you'll watch because you'll see just how amazing it is to share that photo, that tangible photo that comes out. It's like magic, creates connections with other people. Give it to your loved ones, give it to your friends, give it to strangers on the street. Honestly, I think if you just go out and try to do more of that with instant film, It will just bring you so much happiness to other people. It's one of the things I love the most about this. So kind of ending on a mushy note there, but I really mean that. So I hope you go start giving some of this stuff away. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and if you found some of this helpful. Feel free to leave a comment if there are other mistakes that you think are made with instant film so we can all learn together. Subscribe to this channel if you like instant film and just photography in general. We do a lot of very fun stuff here. Have an awesome day and happy photographing.